watching Overdrive. The highly anticipated launch from Skoda has happened. The Kylaq has undercut all of its rivals at 7.89 lakh rupees. That is extremely attractive pricing. It now comes with over 35 plus active and safety features, class-leading boot space, and of course a very talky 1-litre TSI engine. Rohit has more details.
This is the new Skoda Kylaq. Of course, the name is not here. The ones inside will have all the branding loud and clear. That's the name that the Indians have chosen for the car. This is a car made for India by Skoda India with a high level of localization. This is their first proper sub 4-meter crossover offering. Let's not count the Fabia Scout in there because this is a proper SUV look. So let's take a closer look at the vehicle and talk about what are the key changes, what are the key highlights. You get the headlights in the bumper, you get that beautiful LED brow, and you get this proper 3D ribbed effect for the grille. 17 inches is what you're going to get on the top-end variants. They are shot with 205/55 section tires. Now these are going to be the Seat Secura Drive, at least at launch. Now you get the request sensor even for the passenger side, and if you look down below, you get this beautiful pattern on it. It's subtly done, but a nice pattern that you will see on those rub rails. Now let's move over to the rear. I would have liked to see slightly bigger, slightly longer tail lights, and when I say longer, horizontally, that would have been much better. It would have established a nice sense of width also to the car, not just the sense of height that they're trying to go with. And those stubby LED tail lights. Now this particular design detail, it reminds me of some of the older Skoda and Volkswagen cars like the Polo, for example, or even the older Rapid, and it's a nice design touch. Again, the sculpting is quite nicely done on the entire boot. And speaking of the boot, let's also step in and see what the boot space is going to be like. Now let's take a look at the boot. That's the boot space for you. 446 liters of boot is what you're going to get. You also see a 60-40 split seat, so you can add a bit more versatility there. This is not an electric boot. Of course, you can't expect it at this price. I'm going to come to the price in a bit. So this is going to be done manually. Now let's also go inside and see what the space is going to be like. Now the doors open nice and wide. The aperture is again quite good. Ingress and egress, not a problem at all. Space, of course, like a typical sub 4-meter vehicle, is not going to be the best. Now I am 5'8". With this kind of seating, this is the kind of knee room that I get. Headroom is pretty decent. They have also scooped out the headliner to improve on the headroom, but anyone taller than 6 feet is going to have a bit of a problem here. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze. You also get the center armrest with 2 cup holders. And they have done 3 adjustable headrests at the back, which means you can squeeze in 3 adults if you want to, and you're going to still get whiplash protection for them. The other features include these rear AC vents and 2 USB-C ports. And because Skoda, simply clever, right? So they've given this little space for your phone and then more space in the seat back for your documents, iPad, etc., etc. Let's now talk about the front of the cabin. So what you get here is the push button starter with a chrome ring around it. This is where you're going to adjust the headlamps from. Okay, that's a really powerful AC, so let's reduce the fan speed. So you've got this touch panel right here for your HVAC controls. You will also see ventilated seats. So we have ventilated seats, 2-level adjustable for that, and then some of the traditional switches that you see here, including auto start stop. For the infotainment, you're going to get an 8-inch screen. For the instrumentation, you can see it's got a MID as well. The multifunction steering wheel right here. Now this is going to be a 2-spoke design like we saw on some of the other Skoda cars. It's got those roll and click switches. This layout, this instrumentation, all of that is pretty familiar. I hope it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support wirelessly. Wired support is definitely there. You also get a wireless charger in here. You get a 12-volt socket in here, 2 USB-C ports right here. You see the automatic selector right here, because what you're going to get here is a torque converter, a 6-speed torque converter, and also the option of a 6-speed manual. This is what the glove compartment looks like. Another clever touch is that little sunglass holder right there. Or the traditional placement is usually over here. You don't get that here. What you do get over here is controls for the sunroof, because there is a sunroof, but only for the driver's side, none for the rear passenger, as we saw. You get LED lights over here as well, and this is electrically operated. So let's now pop open the hood and take a look at the engine. The engine, like I said, it borrows some of the bits from the Kylaq. Now this is one important bit that it gets from the Kylaq. This is the 1 litre TSI engine. It's running right now. You can probably hear it. It's pretty silent. That is something that we have always liked about the Kylaq's engine. It's pretty refined for what it is, a 3-cylinder motor. It puts out the same amount of power, 115 PS and 178 Newton meters of torque. That's 115 PS of power. And it comes at the same zone as the Kylaq. So the tuning is not going to be very different. Of course, there will be subtle changes here and there to suit the nature of this car. This car is going to be 7.89 lakh rupees. Now, as you would expect, this is introductory pricing, of course, and it is going to be pretty well spec'd even in terms of safety features, even for the base model.
With that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through various social media platforms, and you can write to us on YouTube as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, drive and ride safe.